if it could sigh right now, first of all, because no horse, and then second, if it could sigh right now, given the situation, it would.
Yeah.
The stimulant is probably a very nasty penalty to its, soothing. Soothing is not a sort of stunning, effect, and it's very, very, very smart.
Yeah.
So it's very able to assess, the situation, and socially even. And so it recognizes that it's not got a great attack on its sound on Petrain. So that means it's just going to land on him. With an attempt at a bite, which it's not its preferred attack is a full bite on an active foe. The only good news is that, as I have established, these guys are going to practice ignore.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it knows that too at this point, so it's not quite as risky, right? So it's not risking a counterstrike or something like that.
No.
Therefore, bite 76. You know what's nice about being a naked animal? No encumbrance penalty.
Exactly. Yes.
And you strip.
Berserker mode.
22. Marginal success on an ignore.
Success. Yeah, it's a +3.
And I think I should quickly take a look at some equivalent creature that can bite. And, bite decently. So, bite. Okay. So it just has that. So it's going to be. I'm going to give it the equivalent bite of a mountain cat. Okay. So that's 10 tearing.
We should generate straight location.
Yes, we should.
Should I?
Yeah, please.
33, and that's his hand.
Yeah, he probably threw up his hand. Yeah. So
What's that?
Let's ignore it.
well, it's what? Because he's ignoring it.
Yeah.
He's
that could be.
He's on you.
Yeah.
Right. With his short sword, so his hand is up. Right.
Makes sense.
So therefore, let's go ahead and continue.
Yeah, determine strike impact or effective impact. Because strike impact was 10.
Yes, and so what does it say on the table?
3 dice.
3 dice.
Yeah.
Okay, 3 dice, and then it's going to be +8 for the tearing, right? And tearing is treated as
edge/T.
Tearing.
Edged.
But there's
Edge.
bites. Yeah, okay, so it's.
Well, I don't know.
Yeah, there is.
A bite claw.
Edge, bite, claw is the same category.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, there you are.
Makes sense. Yeah.
Okay, so that means that we are going to roll this. Let me check his situation. He had an injury of 11 already.
Yeah.
And so that's going to be a +2, right, to his, because it's for every increment within 10. That's going to be a +2 to this roll. And we already settled his endurance at 9.
We did.
But he has the +2.
Yeah.
Right.
It's over.
So he's
Unconscious.
yeah. So he's going
No,
to,
wait.
we-
Depend on the with the hand on a when it rolled a 9.
Well, yes, but
9 plus.
Yeah.
Well, 9 + 8 is 17.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
He's
Yeah.
bleeding.
Well, let's check also the armor. Remember, he has a little right. So he has E3. No, it's like an edge. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's 3. So I said 17.
Okay,
17 minus 3 is 14.
Yep. So he has what's that?
Fumble
and
7.
Yeah.
And shock 3.
Yeah.
Okay. So here's we made the roll for the shock. So he's just remember.
Yeah.
So then we use 3 dice. So that was appropriate. Fumble means the short sword goes somewhere.
Yep.
Yeah, unless he.
Wait, he didn't have the short sword. He had a.
You said short sword.
I did. Yeah. Okay.
It might have been a
I
dagger.
thought I was thinking of Rodri having the short sword.
Okay.
I'm trying to remember what Petrain
He
attacked.
could have had a
last time.
dagger.
Yeah, it
In
probably
that case,
was a
yeah,
dagger.
yeah.
In fact, I'm sure it was.
He's technically supposed to roll 7d6 under his dexterity
For fumble.
to keep his dagger. Like plus the endurance index. So it's the result of the
injury fatigue index, right? Yeah.
yeah.
So that's going to be 14 plus 25, so that's plus 3. So this is only 5 dice. Okay, so that's going to be 13 with 2 ones. 15, but pluses and all the rest of it.
Plus
yes,
2, I think it loses.
Yeah, he had lost his dagger. And also he's going to faint from the pain.
Oh.
Right? The thing's going to sink its teeth through his hand, basically. And he's going to collapse in agony. And the creature is looking directly at you. I mean, so Chomp looking directly at you. And you could swear it's calling you a complete idiot.
True.
Right. So you're next. This thing has landed, right? That's the monster as described. It has landed upon Petrain, and it's still making this weird vibration, and it has and although that's just atmosphere at the moment, and it has bitten Petrain through the hand and is glaring at Fergal. And it may have occurred to you that Fergal is at the center of a bunch of very strange interactions. Rodri has talked about him, right? He actually mentioned him in a significant fashion. Petrain has obviously some issue with him. He was involved with the monster before. Fergal was saying, "What monster? There was no monster.
It's an angel."
And
and now the monster is looking
it's
at
right
him.
there, and it seems to have saved him.
Yeah.
I mean, it targeted Petrain. There were easier.
Yeah.
There's a guy bleeding out.
Yeah,
next to him. You should actually roll for that each turn. Roll bleeding. Catastrophic bleeding.
On his turn.
On his turn, alright.
Yeah.
Okay.
Coming up.
Oh, yeah, we're not missing anything.
Bleeding.
I honestly don't know what to do.
Time for a sharp exit.
I think this is where you are going to have to think about what Arthur is all about. Who?
Yeah. Australian, I am quite hurt.
I agree.
Yeah, so I'm not gonna do anything too rash because I'm not gonna stand up against the monster who's just jumped at someone.
It seems very fast.
Yeah.
At the very least.
Yes.
Yeah.
Seems a little wrong though.
Yeah.
It's very fast.
And then also, I will also say that you have plenty of interactive choices. There's interacting with Fergal. There's interacting with Geralt. You have the movement to go around and get to Geralt.
Yeah.
And so at this point, actually, Philip, instead of just sort of skating through the situation and staying kind of neutral through all of these different things, which Arthur has kind of been doing, now it's time to make a choice. Whom are you going to act toward? You know that Fergal is central to something, to all of these different things.
Yeah.
You know that Petrain is important to Sir Petram.
Yeah.
You know there's a hell of a lot of silver in that cart, or actually, no, in Geralt's saddlebags, which is in that horse.
Do we know that? Which horse is which?
That
Okay.
horse.
Because
Yeah.
it was.
Yeah,
That was Rodri's horse
Yep.
that stopped him and ran off. So, so that horse is over there with all the Silver? No, copper. I
Copper,
said
yeah.
silver last time, but it was copper.
It's copper.
Yeah.
It's Oswald that has the silver.
Yes.
I think right now immediately you said, what is that to you? Like, oh, so you seem to recognize it. Like, what is that?
Perfect. I'm just filled of its holiness. Oh, it's an angel of Morgoth. You should bask in its glory and be happy that it saves you for last when it embraces you.
Sure.
You sound like the cultist in my other game. I think that's almost exactly what one of them said. It was kind of, it was they worship a gelatinous cube. And they were feeding it, hoping it got so big it got the world. And their whole point was that, yes, but we'll be the last.
Yeah, of course.
Let's see here. I just want to check on any kind of intrigue.
Okay.
Put pieces together.
Ooh, marginal success.
Marginal success.
Mm.
Okay, first of all, straightforwardly. That's not an angel mark.
It is.
Yeah, I doubted that.
I promise you, it is.
Well, no, there's certain things that are going to be put together. It's not an angel of Morgoth. That is actually an Ivashu. In Ivashu, no, in fact, by definition.
Yeah, I know.
Nice try, right? This is one of our weird gods.
Ilbir, I think.
Yeah. Ilbir, who has nothing better to do. The amoral creator of the Ivashu. Adherents are individualistic, creative, fond of mysticism. In other words, they're nuts. Dozens of distinct sects worship Ilbir. In other words, more nuts. Mixed nuts.
Mixed nuts.
Yeah.
Can I convert?
Although his adherents are not numerous, oddly, because basically he creates monsters in a kind of mini god creator way. Right, the whole universe is one creation, but I make these, and they're mine, and we will proliferate them. And so he is almost kind of like a monster pot. And this is one such creation. They're not like under his control. They don't serve his needs or any religious purpose or anything like that. Some of them are so weirdly mutated they can't survive. Depending on what I roll on their table. And then this one clearly is perfectly functional in lots of ways. And so yes, you are dealing with a large, predatory, randomly generated pseudo-animal.
And his pet.
Right? But as far as the intrigue roll is concerned, you're able to put it together that, especially since you just mentioned Morgoth, that he has been tasked by the Morgoth worshippers, which usually means somebody paid them, to keep an eye on Petrain, which for some reason he seems to be doing in a very
hands-on.
Very hands-on way. And Rodri had actually sort of let slip when he was speaking in an ungoverned way, let slip that it was actually, he even mentioned the Lia Kaber. He outed himself. You would have figured that out already, but he outs himself and saying, yes, we paid Morgoth Temple to set up eyes on this guy, and you're looking at something which has clearly been very destructive of what Geralt was trying to achieve. Although that might not be Rodri's fault. And he has babbled some bullshit at you.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, right.
Sure, we'll go with that for now.
But what will you do?
directly like what it is, or
Everything I just said.
my character knows.
Yes, although
Okay.
maybe not the Ilvir stuff to that level of detail.
But didn't they
But
hear
the-
from the sailors or?
Well, oh yes, and you'll
Yeah.
also put it together. I figure you knew that
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
This is obviously
The
what
monster.
scared
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
of the sailors.
Yeah.
So yes.
Throughout this whole story, I've always been wishing for more blood. So I'm gonna ask you kindly, would you mind killing Geralt to the
You're going to say send it after.
after kindly, would you mind killing how I'm gonna word this? I'm not good with words.
Well, whom are you speaking to?
You can say it to me, and I can perhaps.
Yes, sure. I don't want to do that. I don't think I want
Okay,
to.
so you're trying to to communicate
Yeah.
to it to go
Yeah.
kill that guy.
Yes,
Okay.
in a very kind way, like I don't want to harm it, but
Intelligence
like-
16. Intelligence 16 and which is genius level. And it also has abilities that have prepared it for the circumstance, although it doesn't always understand its own visions. But when the time comes, prescience, when the time comes, it goes, oh, that's what that was about. Which is why it's a good idea right now to see whether its prescience has kicked in. It conducts its prescience as a routine daily. Unfortunately, yeah, this time one of the reasons it was so cautious is because it was improvising. It doesn't know anything about this, so it's going to have a really hard time